Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about two systems that are getting forecasted and a potential third one in the future. I did jot down a few notes on this because it looks like all three of these potential systems kind of follow a similar pattern, just in different areas of the country. So let's begin, starting off with the European model, which we typically start off with. We are tracking this potential blizzard or just overall northern tier snowstorm. Now, this low pressure starts March 5th at 0Z, so let's call this Central Time. This is March 4th around, I believe that's 6 o'clock p.m. We start to see some mountain snow here, and this low pressure starts to pop out during the day on Saturday, and you can see here that we do have potentially heavy snowfall as this low pressure is popping out into the plains, and then eventually most of this snowstorm will be actually rain, as the low pressure is so far north that it'll be pulling up plenty of Gulf moisture into areas such as Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, areas that could be seeing, severe threats, and for areas such as Milwaukee, Iowa, and Illinois, potentially their first severe threat of the year. So this is a potential scenario here. Of course, the low pressure could be stronger and bring in more impacts to areas such as the Twin Cities that would warrant a name for this storm. But at the moment, I think the only place that this could get a name would be Denver, as it is going to be impacting that area. Now, the second system comes in right behind it, and you can see it right here formulating, and this is a much weaker system, as you can see here, 1,005 millibars compared to, at this point, in the 990s. So we are looking at a weaker system, but one that has more implications, as areas such as Chicago and Milwaukee, maybe even Detroit, could see some heavy snowfall, where areas just south of there, such as St. Louis and Fayetteville and Little Rock, maybe even areas like Oklahoma City, could see a major severe threat from this possible storm here. You can see that all of that dark orange is potential for thunderstorms from this potential storm. Now, I do think that this will have impacts, especially in Chicago, that will warrant a winter storm being named there. Now, we are starting to see a third potential situation here. This is the 12Z model run of the European model, so maybe newer model runs have more information on this, and I just don't have access to them yet. But there is a potential scenario here, and it seems like, according to other models, that there's a potential for a nor'easter here. Now, since our low pressures are progressively moving further east, it does make sense. As I drew this out, I kind of labeled them low pressure 1, low pressure 2, low pressure 3, and they all kind of, I wanted to visualize it, so they kind of all follow a similar track, and that could lead to impacts in areas such as the Twin Cities, moving down to Chicago, and then eventually into the Northeast. That's at least my thought process. Of course, this is all speculation, doing this because we're in a lull period, but I do want to take you guys through my thought process with this. And that is, my thought process is validated by other weather models, such as the GFS, which is showing that first system being more of a northern tier storm with some impacts in Denver, potentially some heavy snow there, before leaping out into the plains and bringing some rain, freezing rain, and potential for thunderstorms there. Then the second system, which the GFS has a little bit warmer, and having more of those impacts in areas such as Wisconsin and Minnesota, but still a severe threat, major severe threat there. And then eventually a third system into the Northeast that will be bringing some snowfall. Now, at this point, most of this is, of course, speculation. This is not even this Thursday, but next Thursday that we're looking at here. So we could be seeing some areas subject to change but it seems very likely that we do see something in the northeast. Whether or not it is a snowstorm is completely up for debate, but with the current model tracks as well as the current situation in terms of our trends, it does make sense since the deeper explanation for that. So the first system brings in a lot of the cold air needed for that second system, and then that second system brings in even more cold air, especially with that strong cold front causing those thunderstorms necessary for the third system. Now, that is a requirement for that third system. If you are a snow lover in the Northeast, you need that second system to be strong enough to bring in a lot of cold air. We are getting into the time of the year where we kind of have to look for our two ingredients for snowstorms again, as we don't have that ready access to cold air. So you kind of have to have the 1-2 punch that we usually talk about with nor'easters. We didn't for Kenny because the cold air was already in place. We did with Garrett a little bit, but I think with this potential third system, it would have to be after a strong low-pressure system in the Midwest. And that is also validated by the Canadian model, which is the least accurate of the models, but kind of follows along with what the European and the GFS are saying. Strong storm potentially in the northern plains. After that, another low-pressure system in the Midwest, potential strong cold front there, and then that allows for cold air to funnel into the northeast and bring in a potential nor'easter there, which the Canadian model has more of an inland nor'easter, such as that of Izzy. Izzy was a inland type of storm as well, but it has it going off the coast there, bringing in some more cold air. So, what do you guys think about this? I think that the first two systems there, that potential northern tier storm with some impacts in Denver and the front range of the Rockies, is most likely going to happen. Then you have that second system with the snow potentially in Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, areas like that. I think that is also has pretty good potential, but that third system is pretty much speculation at this point. We are very far out, but it does look promising. I think that there's all the ingredients there, since those first two storm systems look very likely to happen, that we could see that third system be a nor'easter and could pack a punch too, especially since the ingredients are all there. But that is all the information that I have for today. If you like these more speculative type of videos, comment in the comment section down below. We can, speculate together, what you think, what I think. We could have a little debate back and forth on what could potentially happen. Of course, with things being so far out, you can't have an ideal, look into this. Obviously, we don't tell the future, but I think that there are very strong cues at the moment. But that is all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. And I'll see you guys next time.